Tonight, the D.C. Auditor is out with a report about the city's 911 center, saying the recommendations she made in a report last fall largely have not been made. David Kaplan is diving into this report for us tonight. He's live at Metropolitan Police's 2nd District headquarters and Northwest. And David, this story is so critical because unfortunately and tragically, we've seen some big mistakes recently.
We have, and seconds matter when you're talking about this. It's a keystone of public safety. When you or I call 911, will police, fire, medics get there as quickly and safely as possible? Now, we have to note the overwhelming majority of calls in the district go to the right place, and it is a efficient response, shall we say. Everybody agrees on that. But D.C. Auditor Kathy Patterson says there are still enough instances of first responders being sent to wrong addresses that structural changes need to happen to improve that system. That was the report that came out in the fall. What's more, an update on that report, which OUC agreed many of the proposed changes needed to be made, have seen, quote, minimal progress. Two of those key items, adding supervisors to each shifts and better documenting corrective actions after calls which had an error. What does minimal progress mean? It's used several times in the report. Here's the auditor.
When we say minimal progress, like on the database of corrective actions taken, what they say is, okay, this has been assigned and we might get to it by September. That's minimal progress. Someone was assigned to it, but nothing has really happened.
There were 31 recommendations. 3/4 of them got the, quote, minimal progress moniker. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser asked about this yesterday. She says she stands by OUC Acting Director Karima Holmes, who left that position, then returned back to it. Bowser was also critical of what she called cherry-picked reporting about some of these errors when thousands of calls are successful, while acknowledging that if there are changes to be made, OUC will make them, despite what this report says.
What I know is that some people who are reporting on OUC are more interested in talking about mistakes in Karima Holmes than they are in talking about possible mistakes in other people. I don't really know what that's about, but I do recognize that that is happening.
We do know that there were 2 babies that died in D.C. over this summer, and that there was a delayed response in part to those emergency calls. Have to be very clear here. The deaths were not listed as a direct result of these delays, but just an example of something that happened over this summer that the auditor essentially says needs to be improved upon. The OUC director did tell the auditor in a letter that she was getting her executive leadership team together and has a, quote, roadmap for improvement, adding that her team plans to meet with the auditor about all of this later this month. Back to you.